So I'm going to explain where the future value formula come from. Yeah, suppose you have a $100 today. Let's write out a PV. PV means the present value. You put this $100 into your bank account. Each year, suppose you can earn interest 10%, and you leave the money there for 3 years. So number of year is 3. So here comes the question: how much you are going to have after 3 years? So how much are you going to have in your account? That's the future value. Yeah, when you solve the time value of the money in question, normally we set up the timeline. Because here there's 3 years. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So all the numbers above the timeline shows the number of years. You have the present value here, $100. You have an interest rate each period, each year 10%. So question is, how much are you going to have after 3 years? So in order to calculate this, let's break down the procedures. First, we can calculate how much you are going to have after 1 year. So 1 year from now, the amount of the money in your account will be 100, your principal, plus the interest you earn. Interest you earn can be calculated by your principal times the interest rate. So this equation become $100 times 1 plus 10%. So you get 110 after 1 year. 2 years from now, how much are you going to have in your account? Keep in mind, after 1 year, the money in your account now became 110. In the second year, you actually can earn 10% interest on this entire $110. So this equation became 110 times 1 plus 10%. But if you look at this equation carefully, and we know 110 here can be calculated by this formula. So why not we substitute 110 with this equation here. So 110 equal 100 times 1 plus 10%. That's 110. Remember, we also have the other part of the equation here, times 1 plus 10%. So if you are familiar with the mathematical equation, you know this equal 100 times 1 plus 10%, because these two terms are the same. So means raised to the power 2. So 100 times 1.1 power by 2. Because 1 plus 10% equal 1.1. 100 times 1.21 equal $121. So that's how much you have in your account after 2 years. So 3 years from now. So similarly, after 2 years, the amount of the money in your account now become 121. again, you earn 10% interest on this entire 121. And this equation can be written out as 121 times 1 plus 10%. Right? Again, this 121 can be substituted by this equation here. So this equal 100 times 1 plus 10% power by 2. So this is 121. Remember, we also have this term, do not forget. Multiply by 1 plus 10%. So this equal 100 multiplied by 1 plus 10%. Now you can see, because that's the 2, this basically means the power by 1, so 2 plus 1 equals 3. So we can calculate 100 times 1.1 power by 3. Yeah, if you have a calculator, you can find out this answer is $133.1. So now we try to derive the general equation. If this question, the number of year n is any number, can we figure out the future value? Yes, we can calculate future value as 100 multiplied by 1 plus whatever interest rate given in the question powered by number of years. Okay. So because this question calculated future value 3 years from now, so you simply use 100 times 1 plus 10% powered by 3. Right? Yeah, the procedure I show you here is just help you understand where this equation come from. Right? In the future, you can simply apply this equation. Future value equal present value, right? You can see from this example, present value is 100 multiplied by 1 plus interest rate I powered by number of year. So that's the general formula to calculate the future value. You don't need to derive the procedure. You just simply apply this. But keep in mind, this is the key equation to calculate the future value. Everyone should remember this equation.